Bobby Joe Ryder, how long is a spousal visa from India to the U.S.? Well, okay, so I assume you mean how long is the wait? The waits are actually pretty similar worldwide because, a lot of it is taking place with the CR1 spousal visa. That's where you're petitioning your spouse, you're already married. You've got to get through the USCIS. That part is done here in the United States. And then it goes to the National Visa Center, again here in the USA. That's in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. So because a big part of it is in the United States, the waits are surprisingly consistent around the world. Now, there is some variation, but we're not seeing any of them go outside of a year except Cuba. And it's always been a little problematic with Cuba. But over the last several years, if you've got a good case and there aren't mitigating circumstances or problems, and of course if you submit it complete and correct, we're not seeing anybody go more than a year. Most of them are going closer to that 7-month mark. So, and even from India is no different. Now, there are always local things that can happen if there's a terrorist attack or something goes on that closes the embassy or causes the embassy to evacuate non-essential people. These kind of things, even a natural disaster can cause delays. Back when we had the Arab Spring thing going on, there were huge delays in Libya and Tunisia and places like that. So barring nothing like that happen, you can definitely expect it to be under a year, and probably well under a year, especially if you get everything exactly right. You got a good clean case. Usually you can look at about 7 months. Now, if you can go online and you can find people with all kind of horror stories about how it took a year or 2 years. I can tell you that, does that happen? Yes. But that's an anomaly. That's a case where somebody has a problem with their documentation, or they didn't submit it correctly in the first place, and so it got kicked back, and they had to resubmit, and so on. Or they had problems with the medical exam, and they had a condition, maybe like a failed tuberculosis test, that they had to now wait for a culture, and all of this stuff. There's a lot of things that can drag it out. So have people waited a year, 2 years? Absolutely. But I can tell you most people do not. Most people are going to be around that 7-month mark.
And to add 2 points there, that's where we come in as Rapid Visa. There's so many steps along the way, and rounds of paperwork to send in, appointments to make, fees to pay, and that's when you can call in. We can help keep you on track. Because just like you were saying, sometimes they can take longer, but if you know what to do and you can get ready and prepare, have stuff reviewed, and make plans ahead of time, that can really help speed up the process.
That's right. The best thing you can do is get everything exactly right, know your deadlines, send the stuff in proper order. This is how you get through it as quick as you can. And again, this is what we specialize in. If you're going to use us, we'll get it done as quick as you possibly can, which right now is around 7 months.